Okay, so let's look at saving your presentation. There's a number of different ways that you can save and different locations that you can save at, but I will say that probably the most popular would be just saving it as a normal presentation type file and saving it either on your network drive or on your Office 365 OneDrive cloud account. So if you are using Office 365, it's going to pretty much default to saving it to your cloud. And in most cases, you've got a little bit less than 1 terabyte of space, which is pretty big. You can save an awful lot out there. And for the most part, it's safe because it's out on the cloud. It's on a network type server. So therefore, you don't have to worry about your hard drive crashing and losing everything. So the way we would go about doing that is you would just go up at the top here and click onto your Save button. It'll open up like this, and as you can see, it's kind of defaulting to the OneDrive. You can also, if you wanted to, click on this here, and that will pull up different locations. So if you want to save it to your desktop, or you can go to more locations and navigate to different disk drives, that's up to you. But as a default, it's going to go to the OneDrive. Now it kind of gives you the file name ahead of time because it just works off of whatever your title is, and that's what you're seeing here. You can change that if you want to, but we're just going to leave it the way it is. That's fine. And then all we have to do is just go ahead and hit save, and that's it. Now what will happen eventually, you'll see up at the top here, you'll see the name. It'll say it's saved under that name, and the autosave is turned on. So what's really nice about saving stuff to the cloud is that it's constantly being saved. So later on when you're working on it, you don't have to remember to maybe save it every 5 or 10 minutes because you're paranoid. It's being saved like almost every second. Anytime that you do something, it saves it. It's pretty wild. Okay, so now that you've saved it, let's say you close up the whole program. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that. And then later on you might go back into PowerPoint, something like that. And in the home area, it's going to have the most recent files that you've worked with, and there's the file there. All right. If you were to go to Open instead, you're going to see it there as well. Now, if it's kind of an old one, it might have gotten pushed off the list. While you're in here, you can actually go and click on to there, all right? And then you'll end up seeing, it'll take you to your OneDrive, and then you'll see down towards the bottom our file right there. So either way, click onto it, opens it right back up for you. Eventually, there it is, and that's it. And that's how it works. That's pretty much the most basic thing that you can do. Now, if you'd like to save this as a template, and the advantage of that is that you can continually open it up, and every time you open it, you know, in the future, it actually opens up almost like a new file, right, with all the slides in it, but where it has just its default name in there, not the sunny beaches, but it says presentation 1 on it for the file name, and therefore you never have to worry about messing up your original file. Okay, so it's pretty cool. And the way to do that, show you how this works, easy way to get in there is to do what is called a save as. And what you can do here on the keyboard is just hit the F12 key, and that's your save as, and that'll take you directly to this dialog here. Okay, and then what you can do is you click on to where it says save as type and change that to, in this case, a PowerPoint template. See? And there we go. And then you go ahead and give it a name. All right, and we already have it there. Hit save, and that's it. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this. All right. Now I'm going to get back into the program again. All right. And there it is. Now, this is your template right here. It shows it right there. But normally, as time goes on, you're not going to see it in that list. So when you click on to new, all right, and then on here you've got custom, all right, and then you have custom office templates. Open that up, then you'll see that template. then all we have to do is just click onto it, hit create, and what it does is it gives you the contents. They're all in there, all 12 pages. But you'll notice up here the file name is just presentation 1, which means that when you get done changing things around, adding new data in here, changing titles and stuff like that, then all you have to do is hit save up here, and it's ready to give you another file name, whatever you want to call it. So if I wanted to call it, you know, blah, 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 hit save, and now there it goes. So that's pretty cool. And we'll wait for it to save up there, and there it's all set. So now that's a regular file. Now you can also save it as what we would call a presentation show. This is more of something we're going to be talking about in the next set of videos in one of them. But just to kind of show you what happens is you can actually create a file so that when somebody, let's say you send the file to somebody, you know, let's say you attach it to an email, whatever, or give it to them on a disk, all they have to do is double click the file name and it will automatically launch right into the slideshow mode and allow them to watch the slideshow that way. Now to do that, what we'll do is we'll do another save as. So I'm going to hit my F12 key, right? I'm going to go over here to the save as type and we'll save this as, right over here, a PowerPoint show. So I click onto that, right? And I'm going to divert the file to my desktop. So I'm going to click on the desktop here, okay? Hit save, all right? And now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll just kind of close this whole thing up, all right? And there is the file on my desktop. Now, if I go ahead and I double click that, all right? Automatically right into the slideshow, I should say, right? As I click my mouse, there's the second slide, third one, fourth one, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty powerful, pretty easy to do. So this is great for, you know, maybe you're not going to be making the presentation. You just want to hand it off to maybe your customer. You send it via email. They double click it. It goes right into the program, right into the slideshow version of the program. And all they have to do is go click with their mouse, click, click, and off it goes. So again, they'll go click, click. There it is. Click, 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 and that's it. And eventually it runs its course, and now you're at the end. So that's a pretty cool way of doing it as well. Now another thing we can do is we can actually save the show or save the presentation as a video. All right. Which when they get this file and they open up the video, in other words, they start the video, it automatically will progress from one slide to the next. Gives it like a 5-second interval between each of the slides. So let me just give you an idea what I'm talking about here. I'll go ahead and I'll just do this one here. Okay, there we go. Now with this one as well, I'll go ahead and hit the F12 key. All right, that's my save as. I'll go down to here, and then I'll go ahead and I've got the MPEG video. I've also got the Microsoft Media video. It's up to you how you want to work it, but this is probably the most common format here, the MPEG-4. That's what my videos that you're watching, that's the version that they're in. Now also, I'll put this also on the desktop, all right? I'll go ahead and hit save. Now what happens is you'll see at the bottom here, it creating the video for you. So I'll pause the video here and let it kind of progress here so you don't have to sit here and watch it. All right, so now it is done. All right, so now I'll just go ahead and close up the program here. And there it is on my desktop. You can see that little icon in the corner that lets you know it's a video. Now if I go ahead and double click this, all right, there we go. There it goes. So pretty neat. So you'll see it go now. Now I'm not doing anything on my keyboard here or the mouse. It's just doing it by itself. So it looks like it's about maybe like 3 or 4 seconds between each of them. Now if you had put slide timings, in other words, the amount of time that you want each slide to stay on the screen before it goes to the next, or if you had added, you know, narration, which we're going to be doing in future videos, you'll see. as you're doing that and you're applying all that, that's also recording the video. And then when you go to play it like we're doing now, you'd actually see and hear the narrations and all that. It's pretty wild. So there it goes through all of them. I think we're almost there. Okay, one or two more slides. There's number 11, and now finally number 12. There we go. And now it's all done, and it stops at that point. There we go. So pretty cool thing there. So I think all that's pretty straightforward. Now, what I'm going to do next is we're going to launch back into the program here. I'll go ahead and bring up eventually, there we go. Now we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit and talk about sharing. Sharing is probably one of the more popular things that people like to do beyond just the normal workings of the programs. And what's great about sharing your files is that you can share them with many people, and those many people can actually collaborate on that file all at the same time. And as they're making changes, it's updating the file that's stored on the cloud. So in order to be able to share your presentation for other people to work with, and this holds true if you're in Microsoft Word or if you're in Excel, whatever program, when you want to go about sharing your file, you have to first have it on the cloud. And in this case, we have it on the cloud. And we know we've got it on the cloud too. A good indicator is the fact that this autosave is turned on there. That's usually a good indication. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this file with one of my cohorts. I've got a number of different Office 365 accounts, and I have them for my students. And I have set up next to me a laptop computer logged in as student P. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this file with student P, and then I'm going to show you how we go about, once we've done that, how we go about noticing the changes that student P has made to those files. It's pretty cool. So, or to that file, I should say. So the way we do this is we go, while we're in here, up at the top here, we have this thing here called Share. So we click onto that. This opens up this little dialog box, and then we have to specify who we want. So I'm going to type in student, and scroll through my list here, and I should have in there student P. There we go. Click onto that. Okay, and there it is, all right? And I can pick as many other people as I want as well, but that's the only one I've got to work with right now. So we've got that, all right? And then all I have to do is I click on send, and off it goes. And that's it. So now what happens is an email is sent to student P, alerting them to the fact that they have a file that they're linked to, that they can link to on my cloud account, and they can go ahead and directly open it up right from that email. The other thing they can do is they can actually go into Outlook, or I'm sorry, into PowerPoint, and actually see the file in an area called Shared with Me. And I'll show you how that looks in just a second. But it's a very slick thing. So that's all that you have to do to share a file there. Now, when student P opens up the file at their end, and I'm going to do this right now. Right now I'm going to go ahead and click onto this. Watch what happens over here on my screen. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm in student P's computer right now. So I go ahead and I open it up. All right, there it is. Now watch what happens over here now. It'll take a couple seconds here. And there it goes. See, so now student P is here, and they've got the presentation open. So that's it right there. And it even says what slide student P is on. So now I'm over on student P. If I go to slide number 4 right now, you'll see that now changed to on slide 4. I mean, that is pretty cool. Now, if student P, let's say, goes back to slide 1, which is what we're on right now, you can see that. See, now if he's on 2, look at that. It also changes over here. It shows you the indication over there as well. All right. But if I go back to slide 1, and this is student P doing it, and goes in here. Now watch what I'm going to do here. Now I clicked it on student P's machine, but it kind of activated it on my screen as well. Now what I'm going to do on student P's version here, I'm going to backspace over the ES in beaches, right? So I hit the backspace on the S, backspace on the E. Now I'm not doing that on my computer, I'm doing that on student P's. I mean, this is powerful stuff. So it allows for the ability to have many people collaborating and not having to worry about, it used to be in the old days when you used to do this, and you were sharing it on a network, what would happen is if one person had it open, other people could not open up that file. I mean, they could open it, but they wouldn't be able to make any changes, right, until that other person closed up. So this just makes it so much easier to do. So pretty nice stuff there. Now, if student, now I'm going to go here to slide 2 on student P here, and I'll go ahead and I'll change it over here as well on mine so you can see it. And I'm going to click on to where it says clearly here. Now, it just kind of activates the whole box on my screen here, but on student P's screen, I'm going to do a double click on clearly to highlight the word. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hit the delete key, and there it goes. It's gone. If I go ahead and hit the undo on student P, then it comes right back again. And you can see there's an error on the word your, Y-O-R instead of U-R. So student P is going to do a right click on that and choose your. And when I do that, you'll see a change on my screen. I mean, this is really cool stuff here. Now, I've had the question in classes that I've taught in the past where people say, well, whose information actually gets saved? You know, if you've got a bunch of people out there, and it's like, well, whatever the last information happened to be in there, that's what's being saved, right? So two of you could be dueling back and forth on a particular word, and you delete it, and then they undo it, and then they delete something else, and you undo that. You know, it's go back and forth with just crazy stuff here, but the idea is that it's meant for collaboration, and if you think you're going to have troublemakers collaborating with you, then you might not want to collaborate with them. You might not want to share the file with them. All right, so now I'm going to flip the table here, and I'm going to have student P share a PowerPoint file with me, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and close up PowerPoint on student P here, all right? And I'm going to go back in again, and what I'm going to do is start up PowerPoint on student P's side here, and then I'm going to go ahead and open up a file. All right, so I've got a file called Blue Building on student P's machine here, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share it with me. So if you remember what we had done earlier when we were sharing with student P, now we're just going to be doing the reverse now, towards the other way. So I'm going to go ahead on student P's. You don't see this, but I'm going to click on I've got the file open, and I'm going to click on that share button at the top again, all right? And then it's going to give me a little window. And I'm going to go ahead and type in my email address. And there it goes. Okay, so now we've got that in there. Now on student P's machine, I'm going to go ahead and hit send, just like that. And now it's on its way. Okay, so now you probably heard that little noise there. That was my email. Let me just go ahead and close this up real quick, and I'll show you on my email, my alert. Okay, there it is. Now go ahead and open that up, and that will show, let me just bring it over on the screen here. There it is. And from here, I can directly open it up if I wanted to. All right, but this is at least giving me an alert that, hey, somebody's sharing, student P is sharing this particular file with me. Now, and I know it's a PowerPoint, so now watch this. I'll close this up, all right? Don't need that anymore. Now, I'm going to go back into PowerPoint. And when I first get in, and I'm in the home area here, it has an area up here called Shared with Me. See? I click onto that, and there is the blue building, shared by student P. I go and I click onto that, and you can see at the bottom where it's going to. A bunch of gobbledygook there, but there it is. And lo and behold, ta-da, there it is. So there it is. Now, I'm looking at student P's screen right now, and I'm getting the same kind of feedback that we had gotten when student P was interacting with the file that we shared with them. So very, very cool thing here, but that's as easy as it gets, I think. Also, let me show you something for you geeks out there. And when I go out to my cloud drive, out to my OneDrive cloud account, I'm just going to bring it over on the screen here. You'll see that we've got an area here called Shared, right? And I go and click on a Shared with me, shared by me. See, so if I go to the Shared by me, it shows me all the files that I've shared, including the one that we did today. But shared with me, look at this, there's your blue building right there. And you can actually open it from here if you wanted to, right? So pretty powerful stuff there. All right, so that's how it works. That's how we're able to share and collaborate on files. So it's a great way of having a number of people, kind of bring their brains together and come up with that ultimate presentation, right? So not bad stuff there, you guys. So hopefully this will come in handy for a lot of you. I'm sure you'll be saving stuff, but as far as sharing it, that's the next step above there, and I think a lot of you could use that. Okay, so take